Reduce, reuse, and redecorate. Today we are transforming old stuff into snowy fluff. So as we're doing this, we would like to hear from you about what for you creates the wonder of the holiday season. Hi, I'm Dr. K.P. McKee, founder and executive director of a Spacious Place Creativity and Spirituality Center. And as we're going through this project, we would love to hear from you any questions or thoughts you have. Maybe you've done something like this before. We're just going to use some things that might be left over from holidays past that maybe are broken or you're missing some pieces of to turn into snow globes today. So to do that, we're going to need a few supplies. You're going to want to use some distilled water that will keep your snow globe water a little bit clearer. Also, you want to let the glue dry really well. That will help as well. Some kind of ribbon or something for decorating the bottom of it. This could be like if you have some leftover pieces from packages or something that you have received, something like that. It could also be, you also want some bits and pieces from holiday stuff in the past, like this is a broken piece of garland that's just left over, and I'm going to be using some of it for what I'm doing. I'm going to move it aside so we can see a little bit better. Maybe a wreath or an ornament that has a broken piece on it, a creche that's missing something. Those things that you're kind of sad about, this is a way to repurpose them and maybe give them to somebody and they can enjoy them again. And then you're going to want some kind of super glue that is waterproof. You'll want a clear jar with the screw-on lid, and it can be glass like this one or it can be clear plastic. If you need to cut your ribbon, you'll need a pair of scissors for that. And then you're going to want some glycerin that you can get at a pharmacy or the pharmacy department in your local grocery store. Some glitter in whatever colors you want, and then you're all set to begin. So to do this project, you want to choose some leftovers and think about how they would go together. And this is kind of counterintuitive, but you're going to do everything inside the lid of this jar because you're going to turn it over, and that's going to be the snow globe. So what I did here was I cut off some of this garland, and I applied glue to the bottom of the jar lid and then to the garland as well. Words. And because that's the hardest part to glue down is whatever you have that is the foliage. And then my daughter, her name is Joy, Bethany Joy, and we get her joint ornaments. This one had broken. You can see the little bird there. So I used the bird from that ornament and a small pine cone as well. And the one thing you want to think about with this, and I may have gotten this pine cone a little closer to the edge than I meant, is you want to stay away from the edges so that when you screw the lid on, it will screw all the way in. And I may have to move that a little bit. All right, and so what you're going to do to finish this, you're going to super glue this in and let it sit for several hours if you possibly can so that it's in good shape. Oh, also, I applied a little glue to the bottom and then onto some of these and then sprinkled some white glitter on it so that you have a base that looks snowy. You can do that too. So the next step is you're going to pour your distilled water into your jar and almost up to the very top. And it looks like I'm going to need to get a little bit more here. I think snow globes are just magical, and you can do so many different things with them. And that it's okay if it overspills a little bit. You want to be sure that you get it pretty much up to the top. Then the glycerin's purpose is that it slows down the glitter as it falls, so you're going to just need a few drops. And now you want to put whatever glitter you would like. You can choose colors. Maybe you have a container that has a little bit of leftover, but you don't need a whole lot because if you put too much in, it will clump. So just a little bit. And I'm going to put a little of this beautiful blue in just to kind of add to it. Alright, so you can see it does not take very much. All right, now this is where you want to be serious about glue because it is going to be upside down and it is going to be full of water. So you want to run a bead of glue all around the top edge.
And you probably want to make sure that it stays on the outside.
I'm not sure how you would do that, but that sounds like a worthy thing to try to do. And I'm also going to put some down here. We've done a good number of these with the folks we work with, and my discovery was that it's really difficult to get it to be watertight. So don't be afraid of your glue. All right, so now you're going to tuck these in. Everything. Oh, everybody in the pool. And we're going to screw that on just as tight as our fingers will allow us. And then we're going to do the same thing around the edge here. And this is super glue. This is the Gorilla brand.
It's pouring out.
And but any kind of watertight super glue will be fine. I can't do anything about that right now. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Then you're going to take whatever kind of ribbon you want. This is some raffia that I had left over that I'm going to use and tie on. And then I'm going to do another type. I have two different kinds of super glue here that I'm going to use together. And then we're going to let it sit for a bit. If you possibly can, when you do this, and like this lid did not go on as cleanly as we would hope. So the more time you can give these to sit so that they do not have as much of an option of leaking, the better. Let the glue do its work. So I'm also going to do this one too. Now, I thought I would, if she would like this, I thought I would give this to my daughter who, since it has part of her ornament in it. And then you can always, if you don't like the look of your glue, you can always cover it up with a little bit more of the, and we're going to let that sit for a bit, and then when you turn it over, it should snow for you. Oh, wrong one. So I'm going to let that sit while we just do our wrap up here. And if you have found this helpful, we would love for you to like it on Facebook. If you ever make one that you'd like to share, we'd like to see a picture of it. Use some things from your household that you thought were not going to be any good for anything again, and give them a beautiful new life. Also, you can rewatch this on YouTube, on Facebook, or on our site, www.aspaciousplace.com. And we will have our last one in the series, Reduce, Reuse, and Redecorate, on December 22nd. So same time. And we would love for you to join us for that. And then beginning in January, we're doing something that we are calling it Creativity Camp After Dark, where you can come and do some of the awesome art that we do with our children at our creativity camp. And that's going to be Sunday afternoons every other week in January. And you can find more information about that on our website, so you can check that out. So let's close with prayer, and we will hope to see you again here in a few weeks. God, we thank you for the wonder of the season and the hope that it brings, and the opportunities we have to restore what we thought was broken to new beauty. Amen.